So continuing with the anti-ulcer drugs, today we are going to discuss the first group, that is H2 blockers. We have already seen their mechanism of action, that is they are competitive blockers of histaminergic 2 receptors and interfere with the acid secretion. These are as well as stimulated. Now coming to the therapeutic uses of H2 blockers. In the peptic ulcer, which is seen at duodenal mucosa or gastric mucosa, for the healing of these ulcers, nowadays proton pump inhibitors are preferred over H2 blockers, as they provide better pain relief, as they provide more complete suppression of the acid. We will discuss with PPIs again that PPIs are preferred over H2 blockers for healing the duodenal and gastric ulcers. For the next indication, that is prevention of stress ulcers, we can use either of the two groups. We can use H2 blockers as well as PPIs. Both are equally effective for prevention of stress ulcers and also for the prevention of bleeding from the ulcers. In gastroesophageal reflux disease, we use H2 blockers only for the mild cases or stage 1 cases, whereas in severe cases again we prefer to use the proton pump inhibitors, as they cause more complete cessation, more complete suppression of the acid secretion and better symptom relief. In the conditions where there is no ulcer but still patient has dyspeptic symptoms, for this we can choose either of the two groups as they are equally effective. H2 blockers can be used preoperatively for the prophylaxis of aspiration pneumonia under the effect of anesthetics, and we can also use them in some refractory cases of urticaria which are not responding to H1 blockers alone, so we can combine the H2 blockers. So if we see at this, for first two indications, nowadays we don't use H2 blockers for healing of ulcer because we have better and well tolerated drugs. For this indication, both the groups can be used for mild cases of GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease, for non-ulcer dyspeptic symptoms, and preoperatively as well as for refractory cases of urticaria. H2 blockers are well tolerated drugs. Mild side effects occur in the form of headache, dizziness, bowel upset, dryness of mouth and rashes. These are infrequent side effects. The first member, as we have discussed in the previous class, cimetidine, is associated with central ADRs. Other drugs have less central effects like confusion, hallucinations, convulsions. They are seen with cimetidine and are more frequent when we use the drugs intravenously, say for prophylaxis of bleeding from the stress ulcers, or if the patient is elderly with compromised renal functions, the central side effects will be more. Cardiac arrhythmias or cardiac arrest can occur with intravenous use, especially of the cimetidine. This is because of histamine release. Then cimetidine also possesses some endocrinal adverse effects, anti-androgenic effect, hyperprolactinemia, gynecomastia, libido is decreased, impotence, oligozoospermia. The central cardiac and endocrinal adverse effects are more frequently seen with cimetidine as compared to other drugs. So cimetidine is nowadays less frequently used as compared to other H2 blockers. The next very important group of drugs for this condition of peptic ulceration is the proton pump inhibitors, proton pump, or proton potassium ATPase is the final enzyme in the secretion of gastric acid. So when this proton pump is inhibited by the drugs, the gastric secretion due to any cause will be blocked. Drugs included in the group are omeprazole, lansoprazole, pantoprazole, esomeprazole, rabeprazole, dexrabeprazole, and elaprazole. Now, what is their mechanism of action? These drugs remain inactive at neutral pH, and they are activated only when the pH reduces below 5. So they will act only in the acidic pH, number 1. Number 2, that they are lipid soluble, so they get rapidly absorbed, they get diffused into the parietal cell and reach the gastric canaliculi. These are weakly basic drugs, so they get concentrated in the gastric canaliculi, because in the acidic pH the weakly basic drug will get ionized, and the ions have poor lipid solubility, so ions will not diffuse back. Once they reach into the gastric canaliculi, they sort of they stay there, they get accumulated there, because in the gastric canaliculi, when the pH is acidic less than 5, then the drug which is weakly basic gets ionized and forms the two cations, that is sulfenic acid and sulfinamide. Now this sulfinamide and sulfenic acid now cannot go back inside the parietal cell, because they are ionic forms, and ionic form has less lipid solubility. This sulfinamide then combines with the sulfhydryl group of actively acid secreting proton pumps. This is very important part, that they have more affinity to bind with sulfhydryl group of proton pumps, of those proton pumps which are active. So